2018 was filled with all kinds of anime this year. Some good, some great, mostly bad. The year has not been kind to SeaTactics. But while that may be, I was able to come up with 5 of my top 5 anime of the year, with runner-ups of course, so just what was my number 1 pick of the year? Well, watch until the end to find out of course. And remember to put down in the comments what your top 5 anime of 2018 were. Let's get this video started. Number 5. Immediately starting off with number 5, we're starting at a Galactic scale. Legend of the Galactic Heroes New Thesis, which came out in the spring of 2018, was a great introduction to the series, and one of the reasons why it is my top 5 anime of the year, really, because it got me into Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And this anime is so great at building its world, and all of the political intrigue that comes with it. We have a bunch of military politics, we have the different worlds and the planets that come with them. For example, we have the 3 warring sides of Phezin, the Empire, and the Alliance. All of these combustible elements come together to create this amazing world with amazing military politics and other political intrigue involved. And of course, the show has superb animation. It's from the studio Production IG, which has created classic anime like the Ghost in the Shell film from 1995 and much, much more. But really, what made me stick to this series the most, besides all of those things I mentioned before, is the characters. The characters in this anime were so well written, it was very well directed for both the dub and the sub, and by the end of it, I was completely invested in all these characters. I loved all of them equally. It's one of those anime where the villain isn't really the villain, they're all kind of good guys, but not necessarily. They do things because they have to, because there are higher ups that tell them to do what they have to do. For example, Young Win Lee doesn't want to be a war strategist. He actually just wants to study history, but he's so damn good at it that the Alliance will not let him retire from the military, and therefore he is forced into these battles where he feels he's killing people for reasons that are out of his control, and initially he doesn't even believe he wants to kill people. Of course, we have Reinhard, who is doing all of this just to free his sister from the Emperor's cold clutches. And this endears you towards Reinhard very well, because Reinhard is this character that initially you think he's the bad guy, but learning a lot of his backstory, he's actually just doing this so that he can free his own sister and have a happy family again. And we also learn that the Empire kind of ruined his whole life. So it's one of those anime where you're gonna have bad and good, but it's not in your main characters. Your main characters, while they are adversaries, it's not necessarily because they want to be adversaries, it's more of just because they kind of have to be. Definitely recommend Legend of the Galactic Heroes The New Thesis, one of the best anime of the year in my personal opinion, so let's move on. Number 4. Golden Kamuy, which also came out in spring of 2018, might just be one of the best comedies of the year. In fact, it is the second best comedy of the year behind, well, my number 2 pick for this list. I mean, what can you say about Golden Kamuy that hasn't already been said? It has one of the best ensemble casts of the year. I love every single person in this. I think they're all hilarious. Golden Kamuy is one of those worlds where you have to do things you don't want to do, and that's what I love about it. Golden Kamuy, while being a fairly good comedy, is also one of those anime that have characters have shades of gray. And I think that's pretty unique. Another thing that's pretty unique is the Hokkaido setting, which the anime also takes place after the Russo-Japanese War and features native Japanese people, the Ainu. Now, as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any other anime that has had a setting quite like this, especially in the Hokkaido mountains in the Hokkaido region, directly after the Russo-Japanese War, which didn't even last that long, and also feature the native Japanese, which they go even a step further to have them speak native Japanese. And what I found out that is pretty interesting is lots of people in Japan don't even know about the Ainu people, and they are their ancestors. And that's because, which you'll learn in this anime as well, the Ainu people were very forward-thinking people. We know from Ishirpa in this anime that she is a girl of tomorrow. She is a very forward-thinking person. And that's generally what the mindset of the Ainu people were. The Ainu people didn't want to keep traditions alive. They are a certain special people that wanted to move forward with time and be forward thinking, and I think that's a great thing to play on in this anime, and they did very successfully. And also, it has a good mysterious villain. The villain, which you will come to know, is incredibly interesting. He basically stole a bunch of Ainu gold from the people in Golden Kamuy, Ashirpa's father and her family, and killed them all. And so Ashirpa wants revenge, and Sugimoto, the immortal Sugimoto, just wants a small amount of that gold so that he can go home to his friend's wife and get her the care she needs as she's going blind. It's just a very well thought out anime, and I've heard the manga is even better, and if you haven't already, you need to check out Golden Kamuy. The first season came out in spring 2018, and the second season is currently airing in fall 2018. So if you haven't already checked it out, for whatever reason it may be, get to watching it. It's one of the best experiences of this year, and if it weren't for these next 3 anime, it would definitely be in the #1 spot, easily. Number 3. Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel 1 Pre-Sage Flower, which came out in winter of 2018. It is a film. It is the culmination of over 12 years of Fate anime. Of course, the first Fate anime starting in 2006 from the studio we've all come to know for making Konosuba, Studio Dean. After that, Ufotable picked the anime up in 2011 with Fate Zero and went on to make Unlimited Blade Works, and is now producing this film, Heaven's Feel. This is the first of a trilogy for films based off Sakura's route in the Fate Stay Night visual novel from 2004, and it is one of the final last breaths of the Fate franchise as we know it for at least the main routes. Of course, they will continue to make spin-off anime, but in terms of mainline, this is what everyone's been waiting for. This is what every fan has been wanting, is a Heaven's Feel movie, and they finally did it, and they're going to make 2 more after this and put an end to the mainline Fate series once and for all. This film had near perfect CGI and graphics. Now, I have always said Land of the Lustrous is the best CGI only anime of all time. Now, while I still think it is the best CGI overall, if we were to put it into categories, Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel would easily be the best CGI movie. That being said, though, it does feature a lot of animation, but it uses computer-generated graphics for a lot of its effects. And not only that, but the characters in this anime are superb. We have characters returning like Shiro, Saber, Rin Tosaka, Lancer, Gilgamesh, all of the characters you love, and characters that were in Fate Zero but weren't in UBW, but you'll have to watch that to find out. Of course, as you can also see, the action is another reason to watch this anime. The action is near perfect, in my opinion, probably the best action anime of the year, easily. And honestly, this film is unlike nothing before in the Fate series. Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel is so different in feel, tone, visually, writing. It's so unique and different that you just gotta check it out. And if you haven't already checked Heaven's Feel out, and if you watched Fate Zero and UBW, you gotta give this one a watch. It is that good. It is easily one of the best things to come out in the Fate series ever. Number 2. Hina Matsuri from spring 2018. This is comedy of the year. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about Golden Kamuy. This anime is laugh out loud hilarious. There isn't quite another anime like Hina Matsuri, that's for sure. It has great art and animation. It's got meaningful characters like Anzu, who has probably one of the best episodes in the whole series so far. And surprisingly, it has a really good score for being a comedy anime, and you wouldn't think it would. So, all I really have to ask at that point is season 2 when. But no, seriously, if you like a good comedy anime, if you like an anime that is jack of all trades and master of, I guess, just one, then definitely check out Hina Matsuri, as it's really hard not to enjoy this anime. There's not much to say about it because it's that good to where I have to say, go check out my review for it and just watch it because it's that good. Just go watch. You don't even need to watch my review. I tell you in the review to go watch it. Go watch it. Why aren't you watching it? Of course, after finishing this video, you should go watch it. Number 1. And finally, number 1 pick of the year. Make sure, guys, to put your top 5 anime of the year down below. My number 1 is After the Rain from Winter 2018. And this is a special anime for me because I haven't really before this seen an anime cover a topic like this, and it's something that I've always wanted anime to cover because anime almost 99% of the time does this kind of story bad, and that's the story of a 17-year-old girl who is kind of lost and trying to figure out life. She's a hormonal teenager. You know how it is. We've all been there. She falls in love with her 45-year-old boss. And it's special for that reason because it subverts your expectations. You think it's going to go one way. You think it's going to be fan service. You think it's going to be wish fulfillment. But in reality, it's none of that. This anime tells an extremely human story. It has great character designs. It's got some of the best art and animation of the year. That's for sure. I mean, this is an unforgettable anime. In my opinion, it's unforgettable for the fact that it has these great characters that you remember. It has 2 really awesome main characters you love and adore, and the story just gets better episode by episode by episode until at the end you're kind of left breathless because of how great this anime was. And all of these reasons are why it's my number 1 anime of the year. From the very beginning, after I finished this anime, I said, that is currently my anime of the year. Let's see how the rest of this year tops it. Nothing topped it for the rest of the year. And that was in winter. That was like after episode 7 of After the Rain, I was like, alright, that's anime of my year right there. It's kind of crazy how this year went by and nothing really topped it. And I was kind of disappointed by that, but at the same time, it's understandable. This anime has some of the best writing I've seen from an anime in a long time. It tackles a mature subject and does it maturely and well and successfully does it, and it's what I've always wanted. This is a one-of-a-kind anime. This is an anime that doesn't come around every 10 years. Hell, probably every 20 or 30 years. This is a special anime that I'm going to cherish for a very long time, and if it ever gets a dub and if it ever comes to Blu-ray here in the States, I'm going to pick up multiple copies because that's how much I love this anime, and I'm very serious about that. I love this anime. So that's it. There is my top 5 anime of 2018. I'm not going to say this was the best year in anime ever because frankly, it was not. It was a bad year. But it has a lot of very unique anime that stood out from the pack, and I'm glad we got the anime we did. While I didn't really like this year, while I actually scrambled to put this list together because there weren't that many good anime, I really did enjoy what I did see and what I did enjoy a lot. So I think that makes up for it in some ways of this year being a terrible year. So with that being said, what did you guys think about 2018? Did you like 2018 in anime? And what are your top 5 anime of 2018? Put down in a list in the comments below. I'm really eager to hear what you guys have made up because there was a lot of anime that came out this year, something like 200. So I want to see out of those 200 anime that came out this year, 5. Just 5. You can put 10 if you want to, but definitely 5 for sure, your top 5. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next year with some winter 2019 coverage. Have a good rest of your year. I appreciate all the things you guys done for me this year. You know I do. Bye-bye.